Stay right there.
Yep.
Those two.
So put my staying.
Nope. You're right here. There, move the table a little for you. There.
Yeah, it's a little squished. You want me to pull the table closer?
I think
There we go.
Okay.
For the spotlight. Welcome everybody to the Paranormal Discussion Week 2. The reason why we're doing this is because we want people to talk about their paranormal experience in Manitoba, share it with everybody else, so that you know you're not the only one in this province that's having experience with the paranormal. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just confusing. My co-host is Dana. She wasn't here last week because she had some personal taken care of. And today, we're here with our very special friend Gina. She's a psychic, and she's going to explain a lot of things in the psychic world, how spirits work. And we're going to bring her in now, and she'll start communication with us. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So Gina, how does the psychic world work with the spirit world?
Well, my own ability started from when I was a child, and I would start to see things or hear things or feel things. I see spirits almost everywhere, right? So it's, some people think, oh, you have to go somewhere and you have to connect and then you see them. No, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
If you're someone like me who sees them. So, you know, in the psychic realm, everyone's gifts and abilities are different. And I see them based on how my gifts work, but other psychics might see them in another way, right?
Right. Can you talk to him?
Yes.
Can he talk to you?
Yes.
That's it, people. It's not that hard. When you do your psychic abilities, does people call on you to ask for help, or do you just help them out whenever you can?
It can go both ways. I mean, I've talk to spirits when I'm at a concert, when I'm in a church, when I'm with friends, when I'm with family. There's no time where they go, oh, it's time to talk. Usually they come at night. I find a lot of times when I'm just starting to fall asleep, they're like, oh, hi.
Yeah, because that's when you're vulnerable and you think you're dreaming half the time.
Exactly. So you're kind of in that lucid state, right? Yeah.
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
What's your most memorable experience?
Oh, I have lots. I have lots and lots of memories.
You have time.
Yeah, oh, good. I would say I did a session for a woman who lost her child. He was a teenager, probably 17, 18, to suicide. And unfortunately, he didn't leave a note or any reason of why that happened. And so she was just so grief-stricken of why. You know, why did this happen? And this had been, I think he had already passed maybe 10, 15 years ago. So it was quite some time that had passed. And I said, well, does he ever leave you signs or talk to you? Because he's telling me that, you know, he talks to you all the time and he gives you signs and signals. And she goes, I don't know, I just cry about it so much. I miss him. And I said, I understand, because, you know, people miss their loved ones. So anyways, I had given her some clear signs and signals that he gave me as to how he passed and why it happened. And, you know, so there was things that no one would have known in terms of those details, that she was like, wow, I can't believe you picked up on this stuff, because yeah, that's exactly what happened. And the reading was about 2 weeks before Mother's Day. And on Mother's Day, she looked at her phone and she goes, I have a voicemail, my phone didn't ring. And she listened to it, and it was her son's voice saying, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And she said she couldn't, like, she called me just bawling. She's like, I hadn't heard his voice in almost 15 years. And I know it was there. It eventually disappeared, but that's how spirits communicate, right? They can play with technology.
Oh, yeah, we know.
You know. I know.
We had a digital recorder, at least.
Wow, yeah.
From that one house that we were in.
Yeah.
The red light was on, says recording.
Right.
At home to listen to it.
Yeah. Gone. Exactly.
Our CTV cameras got erased one time, too.
Yeah.
The whole year. Everything on it, gone.
I know.
That's what I said.
they have that ability, right? They know how to turn on lights. They know how to turn TVs on and off, lights flickering, like, yeah.
Mine comes on.
Exactly. So I know that she was telling me the truth. She's like, I was going to come and show you unless you listened to it, but it was gone. I said, that was your gift. That was your message, right? So, I mean, I have so many other encounters. It's hard to remember, but yeah.
Do you ever get encounters when you're in a public place and somebody comes up and says to you, I have to talk to you?
Has anyone like come up to me and said that? I have people come up to me and tell me their life story all the time. They're like, I'm just so drawn to you. I'm like, yeah, that's not a surprise, right? So,
Well, I mean, what happened to me one time on the bus, I was going to work, and I'm sitting on the bus by myself. And it's pretty full. This older lady sat beside me and said, my husband told me to come and talk to you.
oh, okay.
And I said, your husband dead? She goes, how do you know? I said, lucky guess, because I don't like scaring people.
Right.
And she goes, I have to ask you this question. I said, okay, what is it? He goes, what does it mean when I can see the rocking chair and smell the smoke? I said, he's waiting for you.
Yeah.
She goes, for what? I go, for you to move on with him. He's not comfortable until you're with him. I go, you've been married for a while. He goes, I've been married over 40 years, I think she said. And then she goes, I'll talk to you later. And it's the last time I saw her. And then I looked around the bus, thought maybe I was dreaming.
Yeah.
But she was real.
Okay.
And that was hard to understand when you're sitting there and somebody just sits.
Yeah.
That happens all the time to me.
Right.
And people don't understand why, I just don't ignore it because you can't. Because
No.
it's a sign from the spirit world saying that you have to talk.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm sharing the gift.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh, there's lots. Like, how do we meet? In the parking lot.
Was it the parking
Yeah,
lot?
because you said, I have to talk to you. And I was walking to work and we were leaving.
Right.
And you said, I need to talk to you about something. And I'm like,
Oh.
and I knew you were because you were across from me.
Right.
I'm like, wow, we never talked about it.
How come I don't remember that? That's interesting. Okay.
I remember that as clear as day because when people approach me and say, I want to talk to you, I need to talk to you, I remember that.
Yeah, of course.
It's not like an everyday event. A video woman come up and says, I need to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, we had known each other from our family business.
Yeah.
From the Forks, and so we worked together.
Yeah, and we got pretty friendly.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we had similar interests, and then it just kind of all came about, right?
And then when the TV show came on, I recommend you because I believe in your abilities.
Thank you.
And it was lots of fun doing that TV show.
It was, absolutely.
We watched it the other day.
Yeah.
Sharing with my team members. I said, this is the girl you're going to meet at the meeting.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. So that was a neat opportunity for sure.
Plus, you come from a background of healers, right?
Yes.
I remember.
You remember that? Yeah. So my mother's a Reiki master, and so I came about it very innocently. Most people are seekers, will go and take the course and have interest in it. And my mom had 7 other Reiki master friends that would come to her house, and they would just do healings every week. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, well, come to the table, come on. And I was like, oh, it's kind of freaky. And so I just thought, okay, well, you know what, why not, right? And so then we were working on someone and doing energy healing. It's, using your own energy source to heal someone else's, in case people don't know what Reiki is. So you place your hands on them, and when I started doing it, I just kind of went into a trance, and I started getting messages and feeling things and kind of almost getting visions, right? And everyone's like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Right?
Well, you got a strong ability.
Sense.
Yeah, and the spirit knew that, so they were testing it.
And so they thought, you should really develop some of these gifts because they're needed, right? And I was like, I don't know, I just think that would just kind of happen. And they're like, I don't know, Gina, if you might want to do that. So I just kind of started pursuing it. And it's funny because I really believe that I never seeked any of this out. It all came to me. And it didn't matter how much I tried to resist it or stop it. They were like, here's another person. Here's another person. Here's something else. And it was just like it was meant to be in my life.
Because you're the chosen one. And the spirit, they look at the people who they can approach and talk to. And you got a personality.
Yes.
They're probably not afraid to see things that nobody else can see.
Yes.
That happened to me too, because I thought I was going crazy when I saw a guy in the cemetery waiting to me every night, and when I stopped, no footprints or nothing. And I went to town and asked anybody in the cemetery, and they all looked at me like, what are you
talking about? Yeah.
I said, okay, forget it. I must be tired. And then my friend did research on it and found out that I had to give.
Yeah.
And she said there's a door that they can come through and they see me, they see my personality. It's like your personality.
Yeah.
You see me friendly, you're friendly. It's because of the customer service we probably do.
Well, they're bad in your light, right? Like it's who you are as a person, your energy, right? That's why I say that certain spirits are going to be attracted to me, just like they're going to be attracted to you. They're not, they go to the people they know are going to do it. That they can trust and that they know can help them.
And she's been experienced stuff like that too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she was at the bar. At the bar. We did a psychic fair. They did a psychic fair.
Oh, the New Villa. Okay, yeah. Right.
And I went upstairs to see a friend in the van.
Okay.
And this woman came up to me and said, "Is it okay if I sit with you?" I said, "Yes, absolutely." And we started chatting for a bit, and a message from her mother who had passed away came through. So I had passed the message along for her.
Okay.
And she was so happy.
Aww.
We bring happiness to people.
Absolutely.
Everybody thinks we don't know, but deep down it's happiness.
Oh, definitely. Who doesn't want to talk to a family member that is crossed? Like, not everyone has that ability, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, they're going to want to connect with their loved ones or people that.
They say their final goodbyes too.
Of course, yeah. Like, there's so many people don't have closure. There's lots of reasons why people would want to connect with those that have crossed, right?
Especially ones that we have fights with and they pass on.
Sure. Yes.
That's the biggest regret.
Well, actually, as a personal story, my grandmother, I was very, very close to, all the way growing up, and she actually passed away during the height of COVID, like during Code Red. No one could go visit her.
Oh,
She was by herself, right? So I remember when she did pass, and I thought, God, I wish I was with her. But something told me it was like, and so ever since she has passed, she has been such a strong person in my energy and a protector too, right? Like anytime anything's happening, I feel her very strongly around me. And when I was at the shop one day, this woman came up to me. I saw her staring at me, and I was like, felt something. I looked at her, like, oh, and it was this First Nations woman, and she goes, "I need to talk to you." And I said, "Okay." And she goes, "Are you?" I think she said, "Are you a believer?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." She's went with it, right? And she goes, "You have a grandmother energy strong in your energy." I'm like, "Mm-hmm." And she goes, "Are you open to hearing messages?" I said, "Absolutely, let's do it." And she described my grandmother, who she was. She goes, "She's really proud of you for the shop." She gave some very specific things that she wouldn't have known. I was just open to hearing it. And then off she went, and I was like, "Oh crap!" Yeah.
And you'll get more of that as you get older too, because people sense things.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And it's hard to explain to people how it works.
Yes.
Because I can't explain it. Excuse me. And I don't know how it actually works, because a lot of mediums, they have different theories. And some of them don't make sense to me.
Okay.
That's why I don't trust some of them. And others I do trust, like you.
Right.
Because your theories and the way you talk to them, I can feel them almost.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's a good sign for me, because that way, not like I'm getting cold shivers or anything.
Yeah. It is confirmation. Yeah.
Yeah, saying that I'm not lying or anything, but between me and you, I think the spirits can get really strong with us, and we got a lot of fun.
Right.
Relaying messages.
Sure.
I'm working with Gina to get her strength up.
Nice. Okay.
She had to push down because people made fun of her. And I said to her, people make fun of me opening my paranormal group.
Oh, sure.
Look how far I am now, look how successful I'm becoming.
Yeah.
I don't take people criticizing when the spirit wants you to do something. You have to do it.
Right.
They don't stop, and you can't stop them.
Yeah. And I think like the more you start to connect with others that have gifts like yourself, you'll feel like they're your people, right? Like I think for a long time I just felt like an odd person. Not that anyone made me feel that way. I was aware that I was different, right? But I just didn't know what to do with it. And then when I started to meet those key people in my life, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just part of the weird group.
I didn't met any key people in my life.
Yeah.
I met you, but you came with the territory, and the stuff at the forks I picked up. A lot of spirits up there came to me, and it was kind of fun at some days. Because
I saw shadows there.
I saw the conductor.
Oh, interesting.
After everybody left, I was working late that one night.
Oh yeah.
In the sink, I was doing dishes. There was a guy standing with a engineer hat, white shirt, blue pants, pointing at the sink. And I can see him at the corner of my eye going, I go, may I help you? And he's just, not saying this, pointing and pointing. I go, is this place familiar? And he just kept pointing and pointing. And I couldn't figure out, so I checked the history. He died there because that place where the engines were on the...
Really?
If you look up there, you see the metal bars.
Oh, that gave me chills. That's
So-
wild.
I talked to another guy, he was talking about the trains going through here, and I
Yeah.
said to him, is there any chance that a conductor got killed here? He goes, how'd you know? I said,
Whoa.
I'm guessing.
I saw him.
I didn't want to say that, his face already turned white when I said that.
Wow.
He goes, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be in there, he was trying to do a shortcut, and then the engine hit him and took him right out.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah, I saw the guy, he doesn't
Yeah.
look in bad shape now.
He looks okay.
He looks great.
Wow.
And then security called me up one night, I think around 11 o'clock at night, upstairs when Sydney's used to be there.
Yep.
The door opened up.
Mm.
He walked down, the door opened up, and he looked at the door and it shut. He called me, and guess what, Victor? I go, I don't know, I can't guess right now. This time of morning, he goes, upstairs, and I goes, the door's open and shut. And he got a video of it showing it open and shut.
Yeah.
He goes, well, you can't put it anywhere, because you don't have, I said, I know I don't have permission.
Oh,
And I
okay.
said, man, you can see it, this opening, and then, wait, and opening.
Wow.
He goes, what does that mean? I said, just don't go near that door until I go up there.
Yeah.
And then they ripped it all apart to put that patio and all the other stuff. I think that's what the meaning was. They were upset they were changing the forks around.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun there. And then in the summertime up by the kids festival, that big lot of land they had,
Mm-hmm.
2 o'clock in the morning, went down to -3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that really security called for back
Yeah.
up. We bring their coat and some coffee and started laughing. I loved it because
Right.
I knew it was going on, but they didn't.
Yeah,
They the guys want to be out there.
Yeah.
And I said, the joke's on you guys. This is paranormal stuff, and it's up my alley.
Right. I mean, the Forks is a historical
Oh, yeah.
place and land, and, so there's all kinds of things that happen on there, right? So,
You should
Yeah.
stand there one day and ask the spirit to show you what it looked like.
Mm.
He showed me what I looked like in the past. It was so beautiful.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I saw the boats, canoes, I saw the trade.
wow.
And I just and I thought I was daydreaming. I just standing there looking right at where the docks are, the boats, and all of a sudden it just came back to the Indian days. I'm like, and I'm looking at it, and everything was beautiful. And then somebody said something, got out of the trance, and I can't forget that. That was a piece of, that was beautiful land there.
I bet.
The
yeah.
boats and the
at the
canoes.
time.
We had like a barber shop, a bar, a hotel, a
Right,
restaurant,
yeah.
blacksmith, and all labeled and everything. And
Wow.
it was all sitting by the edge of the water too.
Yeah, that's where all the fur trade happened.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah, and they had the fur trade down,
Yeah.
farther down from there. It almost looked like someone painted the picture.
Well, when I first moved into this place, it was brand new. Like I basically bought into a floor plan, right? So there's no one else living here before me, right, in this suite. And I remember the first couple of weeks that I was living here, I was woken up by this indigenous spirit, and I was like, God, what? I didn't think there'd be spirits here. This is new. God, what? And then I realized, I'm like, oh my God, of course. I am right by the river. I'm right close to Fort Gibraltar, where all the fur trades happen. And I said, okay, what's going on? Why are you coming to me? And so we had a full-on conversation. He goes, I said, are you upset that we're here? And he said, no. He goes, but you need to know that this is indigenous land,
Yeah.
and all we want is peace. And we're okay that you're here, but I want you to bless all inhabitants and make it so that it's peaceful. I said, I can do that, no problem. And so I started, doing that, doing the prayer, doing the smudge, and I haven't seen him since. That was it.
He's probably watching though,
Oh yeah, sure.
making sure that everything's. He's probably
Right.
he's probably one of the
Head chiefs.
elders.
Yeah, I felt that it was someone of significance,
Yeah.
and so I thought like, oh, that's really interesting, right? So yeah,
You have any native background in you?
not that I know of.
And
No.
usually native don't visit white people.
I know.
I figured
Yeah.
that out myself.
Right.
My dad's native,
Okay.
so that's why I'm getting the native dreams.
Not that I'm aware of.
You may have, yeah.
Down
okay.
the line.
For some reason, natives don't visit white people. I don't. It's not because of prejudice, because
No, yeah.
it's their beliefs.
Right.
So, and that's kind of good though, is when you get a native spirit visit, you've basically been accepted in their spirit world,
Right.
and that's a lot of
I haven't
appreciation.
yes, thank you for that. I haven't had it in a long time, but there was a period of time where they came to me a lot. It was around the time when I made my drum. I made a buffalo drum for drumming purposes, and I loved it. I keep saying I'm going to pull it out. I got to do that. Should have done it for the full moon and put it out. But yeah, I have a buffalo drum that I've been looking at playing for a while. So.
How long have you been playing that?
Oh, years. That was started when I first started doing healings and different things, right? So yeah, and I used to go to drumming circles. I used to do all kinds of stuff. Not that I'm not open to doing that. I love it, but I have. Well, that's another cool story. I made this buffalo drum and went to the sweat, and I really wanted eagle feathers, but I didn't know that you couldn't purchase them. Like I didn't know, right? And so then they're like, no, someone has to get them to you.
The medicine man of the elders.
Right, and I was like, when is that going to happen? You know, like, what are the chances?
I got one.
I did too, and so that's what happened. Was I was my ex at the time was working at a hospital, and he was helping this person, and they happened to be an elder, and they go, I feel like you need these eagle feathers, and he's like, you're not going to believe this. I'm like, come on, he's like, I have eagle feathers hanging from my drum now because of that, right?
I got one in my bedroom.
Yeah.
So for some reason, this lady come up and said, I think this eagle feather will help you more than help anybody else. And I said, I know the eagle feather's got to be a gift, but it's got to be from an elder or she was on the medicine unit. I said, I'll take it.
Okay, I'll take it, yeah.
She was, and I never saw her again. I see people once and I never see them again. And they were alive too, though.
Yeah, maybe you're good at making them disappear.
Oh, don't say that.
No kidding.
The cops will come after me now. But yeah, it's just, when you get the spirit on your side, it's a feeling that you can't
describe. Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
And if you try to describe it, you're fooling yourself. Because I never feel alone, and people think I'm alone, but I'm never alone. And when I work alone, I'm still not alone.
Right.
And when I live alone, I'm not alone at all. I got a guy in my house that, I don't know if it's a guy or not, but after 10 o'clock, if there's more than 4 people in my house, he turns the TV on, cranks the volume up.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Like, get out.
Get out, it's time to go to bed. Oh my God. And then the other night when we get ready to go to Mayfair, the TV came on and one of my Gina would go, TV came on and Richard goes,
Yeah, that's what
it's a
happened.
normal thing. And everybody thinks I program it.
No.
I do. And then one time it turned on 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I thought I heard somebody broke in my house. I grabbed my bat and walked around the house and the TV was freaking on. I said, you got to stop turning my TV on.
No kidding, yeah.
I can't keep that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in hearing somebody talking. You're like,
Right.
oh crap, I got all that stuff in the front room. What am I going to do? I'm going to have a bat or a piece of wood beside my bed. So that's things I don't like doing.
Right.
But when you do your healings, what do you use?
I guess it depends. You know, you can use your own energy source. You can use crystals. You can do rocks. There's all kinds of tools like tingshaws, drums, singing bowls. I think there's those dowsing rods.
Yeah, we have some of those.
Yeah, all different types. So the whole idea of energy healing is scanning someone's body to see what they need, right? It's not up to me. It's up to spirit to tell me, use me to, find out what needs to happen in their body. Mm-hmm.
So any other adventures that you had that you like to share? We really want to hear them.
You want to hear them? Oh.
Not too many people understand psychic people. So
right.
To get you to explain everything you can of your adventures, because I already heard all my adventures last week. And we can hear your adventures this week.
I have so many. Trying to think of anything.
Let's start when you found out you had your DF.
Yes.
And then what age was that?
I would say I was probably about 6 years old. Yeah.
And when you hit 13, did you develop more gifts or?
I always saw spirits. I always saw things that I was like, what was that? And I'd ask my friends and they'd be like, what are you talking about? And I was like, you didn't see that? Like, come on, it was so clear as day. And so the really kind of great thing, the innocent thing was